I said there is a epidemic of stupidity going on in our country today. You cannot even keep up with the sheer stupidity that's going on in the country. Every time you watch the news, you see a new profound stupidity going on. Rachel just opened up the doors, if you ask me. Rachel DeSaul, however you pronounce her name, I think it's DeSaul. She opened up this thing, and it kind of like spun out of control. Now, you remember Rachel was over the NAACP, and she was claiming to be black, even though both her parents are white. And you got blacks and the dumb white liberals who are trying to say that if she thinks she's black in her mind, then who are we to come up against her? If I think you a jackass, in my mind, that makes you a jackass. Not just in theory, you a jackass for real. But we saw an influx because not only did Rachel take it to another level, had two white parents thinking she's black. There has been others. I think her name is pronounced Ali Michael. I don't know what kind of name that is for a woman, but she writes for the Huffington Post. And sometimes she wishes she wasn't white. Do you got some white guilt, girl? How much money you got? Because if you're feeling real guilty, I could take some of your money off your hands. Do you got any kind of retirement plan? What kind of 401k you got? What kind of expensive jewelry you got? Because if you're feeling guilty and you're thinking that you owe some blacks some reparations, I think your ancestors enslaved my ancestors. So can I get some money if you're feeling real guilty, Miss Michael? She says that she was not going to have no kids. She decided she was not going to have any kids in her early 20s because having biological children only propagated her white privilege biology, biological evidence of her superiority, I guess. She says that if she had kids, her experiencing all of this white privilege will only make it even propagate the problem a little bit better, and her children would do the same thing. In other words, since she is experiencing such a white privilege, if she had any children, her children too would experience white privilege. You can't even hardly make up the stupidity of these people. That's why the country is going to hell in the handbasket, because these people are completely irrational. Have some whites gain and have some whites succeeded because of some other white let them in the door. Of course, no one can be naive enough to say that that is not the case. I can tell you some evidence from clear and cut. I can tell you some people white that has experience and a success because of somebody white they know. I also know some blacks who have experienced a certain amount of success because of some blacks they know. So that is nothing new under the sun. Of course, anybody denies that are even deceiving themselves. I was talking to a businessman one time, and I says, I don't believe in affirmative action. He says, I'm with you because I don't either. But I said, what is your take on nepotism and cronyism? He says, what you mean? I says, some people who may have owned a business happen to be white. They gave a job to somebody else's children or their friends' children, not based on their merit, but based on whom they knew. If that ain't a form of affirmative action, I'd like to know what is. I'm not going to even argue the point because I've seen it happen too many times. Don't think for 1 minute I'm stupid enough to believe that. Having said that, this dumb heifer, Ali Michael, what kind of name is that? Is that a real name? Ali Michael? Who names a child that? She must have changed her name. One of these hippie, one of these dumb hippie white people who has decided that she had this white privilege in the ugly history of America because some of her forefathers may have owned slaves. No, she hadn't done any research to prove that, but she is feeling a certain amount of guilt. She says she can relate to Rachel because Rachel was feeling that white guilt and white privilege. Rachel, would you like to donate some money to this Negro here? since you're feeling a little guilty. I'm just taking all money from guilty white people who's feeling guilty thinking your ancestors may have owned some slaves. I'll take some money from you if you want to give up some money. I mean, I'm not offering the race baiting, but if you're feeling white guilt, who am I to take the guilt? I will relieve you of your guilt. Ain't no need to be keeping you carrying that heavy burden you've been carrying. You've been carrying a heavy burden. Well, come on down over to the doctor, and the doctor will relieve you of your heavy burden. You can donate all your money, all your prized possession. I will take them off your hand. And if you got enough, I will even distribute amongst the other downtrodden colors of your choice. I mean, they could be real downtrodden colors if you're feeling real guilty. The funny thing about white liberals like these people can be some of the most racist people. They can be patronizing to the blacks, pretending like, oh, you had it so bad, you're just from a broken home. No, I wasn't from no broken home, fool. I know my daddy is. So they think all blacks came from a broken home. That's how some of these white guilty liberals really think. She is stuck in the immense and the stage where she is feeling the utmost guilt because of her white privilege. You probably do got white privilege because you don't seem that smart from your reasoning skills. So you probably, whatever job you got over at the Huffington Post or anything else you got probably was due to white privilege, because if you're stupid enough to come up with a theory that the reason you're not going to have no children is because you don't want your children to go ahead and make it worse on the blacks who are still in slavery. I think Harriet Tubman just still went to the underground. She's still running slaves. It's all right, Harriet Tubman. They're already free, baby. Don't worry about it. Got Miss Michaels over here thinking they still running slavery on the Underground Railroad system or something. It's a done deal, you know. I mean, I don't know if you know it, but I've been over 150 years ago. But we still talking. Anybody was living back then? Anybody? Are you really thinking that your worst problem in your black communities, and we're going to get to that too, has something to do with you having white privilege? No, white guilty liberals are the worst thing that ever happened to black folks, because they're the ones who say, get the father out of there, put you on welfare. You have a bunch of kids, you can't help yourself. Yeah, you can't help yourself. Keep getting impregnated. We're not going to try to inform you that that's the wrong thing to do, because they don't know no better. They're a bunch of jungle bunnies. It's what the white guilty liberals are telling these people. Have you ever seen these patronizing white guilty liberals who keep saying, oh, that's so bad, little Johnny. No, little Johnny needs his ass whooped. Also, little Johnny needs to be told, fool, cut that out. Joining a gang is never a good thing. Some of these people who sleep laying on their back, open their legs, having children, don't know what the father is. The father keep donating sperm, ain't going to take care of their children. How can you think that's a good thing? That ain't got nothing to do with a white privilege. That got something to do with people are creating bad situations for themselves, but her. And Rachel seems to think that the white privilege is why they're ashamed of their whiteness. I want to relieve you of your shame. As a matter of fact, I may start me a telethon of guilty white people who wants to donate money because they're feeling good. How guilty are you feeling? They say, I got $100. That ain't guilty enough. No, you're guilty than $100. Come on now. What kind of savings plans you got? I want to take you of all your money so I can free you of all your guilt. I can take your car. I can take your house. No, keep your children if you got any right there. I can take your valuable jewelry. You got any rental property? I'll take that off your hands too, because I want you freed from your guilt. If anybody can free you from your guilt, you've come to the right place. I will free you of all guilt that you are encountering. Guilty white people, please come unto me. All ye are labor and are heavy laden. I will give you rest. Yes, I will. Come on unto me. Yeah, you could be like a confession. Like, my name is Ali Michael. I'm a guilty white person. How guilty are you feeling, my sister? Oh, I feel so guilty because I've been given positions because I am a white. That is trash. You need to repent. No, you can't say no Hail Marys. How much money you got in the bank? Is that real diamonds you got on your bank? We're going to take that off right now. Relieve you of your guilt, girl. What kind of car you driving? Come on, you can ride a bicycle. I want to relieve you of your guilt and your stress. There is no reason, and I mean no reason, for any white person to feel guilty like Miss Ali Michael. Come unox from amongst your guilt. Lay your heavy burden to the side so I can relieve you of your particular guilt. You need to be relieved of your guilt, and I'm the doctor that can relieve all guilty whites of their guilt. Please come unto me and be relieved of your oppression, Miss Ali Michael. I'm just wondering what's her damn real name, because that can't be that girl's real name. She's almost as confused as a Rachel was, but she's feeling real good. She's Miss Michael with MS. Said she don't want a man because she wants to get no chances on being impregnated. She heard you can get impregnated by shaking a man's hand too hard. She felt I felt like the way to really end racism was to feel guilty for it. You can't even make this up. Excuse me. She said the way that she's going to feel, excuse me, she can relieve her guilt is to, she can end racism is to feel guilty. Excuse me. Think about that. She says she's going to end racism by feeling real guilty. Feeling good ain't good enough, girl. You need to come on with some funds. I'm going to set up a GoFundMe. And you can stop that guilty feeling by sending me some damn money. Damn, you feeling guilty. I need to get paid up in this camp. You ain't feeling guilty enough to come off some of them diamonds and some pearls. You got some value. What your parents done left you? What kind of house they living in? Because I think they own slaves. That's where you got this from. You need to tell your parents to mortgage out their house unto me. I could be like a Jim Jones. All white folks, come on. You're feeling guilty? Come on down. Like the Price is Right. Come on down. You're the next guilty feeling white person liberal. Come on down. You are the next contestant on Give Me Your Damn Money. It's going to be the name of this show. The name of my show is Give Me Your Damn Money Show. Prices ain't right. I'll tell you when you done gave enough. I will relieve you of your guilt. And you have come to a doctor who can relieve you of your guilt. Why must you struggle any longer? Why must you fight against this any longer? Come unto me, guilty white folks. I will help you out, damn it.